Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a long day of press, but a good one. Good conversations.
Hopefully I won't screw it up. Let's keep it going. So because I have 15 minutes, I have a wide variety of questions, and I'm going to
Sure.
start with, I jokingly am going to ask you, do you think you post on Instagram too much?
No, I'm really bad at Instagramming, and yeah, wish. I mean, do I wish I was? But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've always been quite private in my real life in general, and I think that yeah, I should probably get better at Instagram. I don't know. Whatever. I'm rubbish at it. I prefer it's human interaction.
Completely. What's cooler, being on Ted Lasso or having Martin Scorsese following you on Instagram?
That's a good question. I mean, Marty is one of my all-time heroes, and but Ted Lasso is just filling me with more light than I knew I could be filled with. So that's a close one. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's actually that's an impossible question to answer. I'll
Yeah,
let you slide.
yeah.
What TV series would you love to guest star on?
Oh man, I mean, I'm a huge Stranger Things fan, but sadly, I think I'm probably I sit right in the middle of being the children and the adults. I don't know, but I absolutely love that show a lot.
I'll pass on to someone. I'm friendly with Sean Levy. I'll say that you love the show. I'm sure he gets it all the
And
time
say
though.
I would come in and literally just be like a pizza delivery girl or something. I would do that in a heartbeat. I absolutely love Stranger Things. I love all those kids. I just find them so dynamic, and yeah, that kind of throwback to the kind of 80s kids finding these alien creatures. Yeah, I love it. It's brilliant.
I am curious. Your dad is a successful director, and you
Yes,
grew up with, like, I guess inside the industry, seeing him work. Did you know at a young age that you wanted to act?
yes, definitely. I remember it vividly. The first time I kind of felt a shot in the heart of it was I was about 4, and I had really bad chicken pox, and I literally wanting to exit my skin like a missile. And my dad had an amazing Laserdisc collection and a projector screen, and he put on La Belle La Bête on Laserdisc for me at 4 years old, and I forgot that I had chickenpox. Yeah, and I remember just thinking like, that magic's real, and yeah, got bitten by the bug then. I mean, obviously, I don't think I understood entirely what that meant at that point, but I remember that so vividly. I remember the dress I was wearing and everything. I remember it really vividly. But it wasn't until I was about 14 that I actually told my parents that I really wanted to do it.
I watched Vinyl, and I was surprised that it didn't. I know it got picked up for a second season, and then it got pulled back. They said we're not going to make it. What was it like? When you signed on for that, were you like, this is going forever? Martin Scorsese is producing this thing. This thing is going to be.
I had experienced a few things in the industry in my career thus far up until that point where people had made projections and then they turned out to be false. So I'd learned quite quickly to not try and predict the future with that kind of stuff. But what was really hard about Vine, it was actually the first TV show I ever auditioned for because I was so nervous at the idea of making a commitment like that, where you sign a deal for years of your life. I was like, I can't even decide what shoes I want to wear for an hour a day. It's like, God, that's a commitment. And then I was really committed when I got the part, and it was an extraordinary process, and then we shot it, and my God, I love that time period. I love the music from that moment, and I love that we were in New York, and I just, yeah, loved everything about it, and that we got picked up for a second season, and then it was ripped away like that. My heart was broken. I was like, oh my God, it really felt like a loss, and a mini, one of my own personal mini tragedies in my life. And so then for a long time afterwards, I was kind of nervous at the idea of doing TV again, because I guess, experienced a little trauma from that. And Ted Lasso was the first time that I was open to the idea of committing to another long-term potential journey. And thus far, we haven't been cancelled. And we have started shooting season 2. So hopefully, but I think I never sit too comfortably in an experience anymore, because I am aware that it could all get taken away, and I really treasure it. So I make each moment count as much as possible.
Oh, I definitely have some Ted Lasso questions, but let me jump into why I actually get to talk to you today. With Palmer, what was it about this film and this character that said, I have to do this? And that is a big cup of coffee.
Isn't it just? I know. It was really full earlier too.
Right.
Actually, only minutes before I hopped on with you. But what about this character? I mean, everything, all of it. This little, insight into this woman's life, this little arc that happened in this script, to me was a powerful one in an already extraordinarily moving and powerful story that was brought to my life because Justin actually recommended me to the director. And again, still to this day, I'm kind of blown away that he thought I could bring life to Shelley, because I think she's a really complex and really nuanced and interesting character. But it's interesting doing press how people react to her, because I know how I feel, but I'm not going to predict how anybody else feels about her. And I had such empathy for her, and I think, yes, there's a lot going on with her. She's a drug addict. She's living in a trailer that she can't really afford to keep food in, and she's got a boyfriend that's not kind and not the right guy to be with, and she's all of those. But at the same time, she's a child herself, and she has a child, and she hasn't got the tools to mother this child. But my God, she loves him. I think she loves him so much that it can suffocate him sometimes, actually. And she is, they're best friends. She's his equal, and I found that a very precious and awesome thing to play, actually. Definitely due to the fact that Ryder, who plays Sam, was such an extraordinary little human, and I mean, an amazing actor. But him and Sam are quite similar. They have this incredible way of looking at the world and taking things in, and this wonderment and this profound kind of enjoyment of learning about things and seeing things and knowing things, and then sharing that information with people around them, and without any judgment at all. And that's another thing that I thought was really lovely about Shelley, is that she doesn't judge Sam, never. And I don't think she judges other people. I think the person she judges the most is herself, and that's why she is in this kind of whirlwind of addiction, which ultimately she's losing the battle with at this moment in her life. And I imagine sadly doesn't bode well for her, but I think she makes a brave decision and fucking hard decision at the end of the film to set her son free, because she realizes otherwise she's going to keep him captive and he's not going to be able to go and prosper and live the life that he should. I mean, who wouldn't want to play that role?
Well, the thing that I find interesting about the writing is that Shelley is, I mean, she's kind of a mess, but her love for her son, it's like I think a lot of times in a script like this, she would be just bad across the board. There would be no redeeming quality. But the interesting thing about the script is that she really does love her unique son.
Yeah.
And it's like that, that real love. And I think that's what makes the script, different and better.
Yeah, and I think it's also, it's from the get-go. She like, I think the adoration, is so present or it was from the beginning of the script. And I think that when she comes back after having disappeared on this, wild bender, and comes back and she's almost kind of unrecognizable, and she's frightening to her little boy, she expects him to love her as he did when she left. And that's also an incredibly kind of childlike way to approach returning to a situation, because that's a tall order, and she's been gone for a long time, and she comes back and she doesn't look like his mummy, really, and then you see this very childlike character of the mum smothering this little boy, being like, I need you, love him, and you see this boy kind of like, oh my gosh. But underneath it all, you see this kind of fear in her eyes of him not loving her. and she doesn't know what to do if that's the moment that it's going to happen. She's not ready for that, you know? So I think I think it was a really interesting written part, because there is a sort of desperation in the love for her child too, which ultimately is what she realizes at the end when Sam is chasing after that cop car that Palmer is in, and she observes that, and she really realizes, if I was in that car, he wouldn't chase it. And I think, I mean, I'm not a mum yet. I hope I am one day, but the idea of that realization happening, I think, would feel like being sliced in two with a machete as a mother. So what do? You either hold your child captive, or you let them go.
I could ask a million other questions, but I am such a huge fan of Ted Lasso. I have to talk to you about it. So
Cool, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in on that because as you said, when you sign on to a series, you really never know what it's going to be until you make it and until the people see it and their reaction. It has to be amazing to be a part of a series like this that is universally loved.
It's extraordinary. Also, you know, if you've been privy to a lot of my career, I've spent a lot of time, I think, making very interesting choices, but choices that not a lot of people have seen. So I think that this is kind of a new experience for me, and also, again, to be a part of something that is truly through and through filled with a positivity. I feel like I've also taken a lot of roles that are very dark, and not that I think Ted Lasso doesn't have darkness to it. I think it's got real humanity to it, which is why it feels like you can relate to it. You know, even being in it, there's so much of it that I'm not in. When I watched the season, I was like, oh my God, I felt that each character so deeply. Their journey was like, every one of them was so human, you know, and yet laughing through it, which I think that's kind of how we survive, isn't it? We laugh through the stuff that we find tough, and then hopefully, and I think Ted Lasso is, again, a kind of positive example of reminding humans to do this, but enjoying the moments that are good. Yeah.
Completely. You've started filming season 2, thank God, because I need that show back. What can you tease about season 2 without getting in trouble?
Nothing at all, other than we started, so that's amazing, and
Right.
that I just am really grateful for a character like Keely in my life right now. She's bringing me a lot of light, which is really cool to be playing again.
Well, I'll ask you this. When you signed on, did they tell you we have a 3-year plan, we have a 5-year plan, we have an arc for your character, we have an arc for the show, or how much was it, you know, like, this is what we're thinking, you want to be a part of it?
So I got a text from Jason initially, actually, because I had met him quite a few years before, and genuinely, when he reached out, I thought he'd accidentally texted the wrong actress, because he was reaching out about a comedy, about a, you know, football team and I was like, first and foremost, comedy, I think he's thinking of the wrong actress. Like, I'm known for literally like really dark roles. What's going on? And then figured out that he hadn't reached out to the wrong actress, and he wanted to chat with me about it. And I went and had a drink with him in LA, and he explained the universe to me and kind of what his idea for the story was, and how he kind of wanted it to play out, and what kind of comedy and what kind of humanity there was going to be involved in it. And yeah, he gave me, you know, insight into what Keely's journey would be, and I was completely amazed by what came out of his mouth, and I was like, yeah, I am so game. Bring it on. Are you sure you want me? You know? And yeah, it's still I'm still reeling from it. You know, I think making the show was so much fun, and all the cast and the crew that were a part of it on season 1 and now again season 2 are so brilliant and so all so funny, but also human. And it feels like we're getting to explore life with this show, but in a positive way.
If I'm not mistaken, Jason is a huge pinball fan. I'm not sure if he has ever told you that.
I didn't know that about him. I know he does. I know he's big at magic, big magic fan, and does really good magic tricks and stuff.
Oh, I was going to say next time you see him on set, talk to him about pinball.
Okay, I mean, I'm going to see him on Zoom in a few hours, actually. But I think, yeah, I'll ask him about pinball. Okay, done.
Just an idea. When do you actually? How has COVID impacted the shoot in terms of would you normally have wrapped in like 4 months and now, now it's going to be 6 months?
Well, we've joyously been picked up for a few extra episodes this season, so it's a longer shoot due to actually shooting more too. But COVID thus far, how has it affected that time and stuff? I haven't felt that entirely. It's just interesting because when you're not actually in front of the camera and the camera's rolling, you have to put on a Z shield sort of visor thing, or wear one of your face masks. So there does feel like a moment of I want to be able to just to take it off and hang out with my friends. And I think we've had such a cool week with the really lovely news about awards and just an extra encouragement to continue making the show. Also hit of panic, oh my god, wow, okay, we've got to really bring it, don't stop, keep going. And but finding out Jason getting nominated for a Golden Globe and a SAG Award, and then the show getting nominated for a Golden Globe, and then a SAG nomination for ensemble cast, and you can't hug your castmates, you can't throw your arms around them and say I love you so much. Yes, right. How cool, so proud of us. Now let's get back to the scene and fucking kill it. It's that's hard. And I find I've moved my body because you start finding weird ways to be you wiggle out love and joy for people. So that's new. I feel like there's a new kind of physicality of explaining your joy to be around people because you can't actually embrace, which is hard.
I understand. I could keep on going, but I got to wrap. I'm just going to say I'm really happy for you. Congrats on everything that's happening, and have a fantastic day.
Yes, you too. Take care. Be safe.